Today I'll be working on a 16 by 20 inch hardboard canvas. I'll be using lots of modeling paste as well as stenciling and painting cardstock. If you'd like to use the same designs I am, you can click on the PayHip link below to access my digital downloads. So let's get started. I've got a round wooden medallion from the craft store, and I'm just using my round stencil and applying a good bit of modeling paste to it. I'm using one of my paper cardstock leaves to trace onto the styrofoam plate, and you'll see what we're going to do with that here in just a minute. I'm applying a good bit of modeling paste, a whole tube in fact, to my canvas, and then I'm moving it around, as you can see, with a credit card. And I'm not trying to get it perfectly even or smooth. I just want to get a pretty good coat on there. And then I'm going to use my plastic garbage bag here to add some texture all over the canvas. And then I'm going to use my styrofoam leaves here and there and just kind of push them in, and then hopefully just make it a groovy background. I've divided up my leaves into equal groups, and now I'm mixing up my paints that I'm going to use for my background colors. I'm going to use a little paint and a little water and get them all ready. And as soon as they're dry, I can go in and start detailing each leaf. I'm going to use some of my stencil designs, brushes, my toothpick, and just go through and try to make each one unique. Once my modeling paste is dry, I'm going to go in with some sandpaper and try to get off some of the really high points that might be on there off. And then I'm going to use a dry chip brush to go in and brush off all the dust before I get to painting. Next, I'm going to start applying some marsh green and some Tuscan teal. I'm using a sponge and a little bit of water to help move it around. And then I'll come in and add some white in with that also here. And just play with it until I get it looking like I want it. And then I'll also paint my medallion. When dry, I will use another plastic shopping bag dipped in my copper metallic to add highlights to my medallion and my canvas. Making sure that I don't have too much on there, working it off to the side of my palette. I just want it to nicely highlight. Now I'm going to seal my leaves and my medallion with a nice coat of Mod Podge. I don't want brush strokes, so after I get the coat on there, I'm going to tap all over to make sure that those brush strokes are all gone. I mark my center and then I can glue on my medallion. I separate all my leaves by color. I want to have a good mix as I go, and then I can kind of come up with how I want my design to be before I glue them on. Now that I have a plan, I can start gluing my leaves down. I really like this Beacon Fast Grab glue for this kind of application. It's really good stuff. Hey, thanks so much for joining me today. If this is your kind of video, it would be awesome if you would hit the like button, subscribe, and maybe even leave me a comment. Hope you'll be back for my next video.